So Austria, a nation that we kind of disregarded as a sort of power that would stay alive by the end of this campaign, has made some pretty big gains in Dutch territory, and now they've shown that they're willing to do a very aggressive war against Poland.
Or I guess I mean declare a very aggressive war against Poland. But before I go into that, I want to look at the Mayans. They did just declare war on the Canadian Mississippi territory, Canadian territory of Mississippi. So more than likely, you know what's weird though? Whenever I see this happen, I've seen this happen all around the map. When a nation declares war on another nation when it doesn't have anything. Now, okay, first of all, before I say this, I realize that they can core this stuff. I think I made a mistake earlier in this campaign by thinking that they couldn't core it, or something about, like, I know I could confuse claims and cores. Mayans can definitely core all this stuff. If they wanted to form a claim, they'd be able to use this bay here to form a claim if they needed it, which is, I'm guessing, why the war is declared. Mayan conquest of... Yes, they fabricated a claim just like that. Now, they can core all this stuff, but what I was trying to say is I don't think that they'll take anything. We'll see. I might be wrong about that. But when AIs declare war on another nation that has, like, you know, a province or two of uncolonized territory in between it, they don't take it for some reason. I don't know why. Ooh, look at the French giving up military access so that they can go after the final Canadian province in the south here. Obviously, Canada's still surviving somewhat in Canadian territory, but look how drastic of a difference there's been because of the Celts. The Celts have really pushed new Celtic territory, and there's now a pretty big division, pretty big divide in Canada. The Celts have actually made some pretty big gangs as we've progressed further and further. They were able to take away a province from Sweden somehow because of the Swedish alliance. I'm sorry, because of the Celtic alliance with England. They were allied. I guess they're not anymore. But yeah, no, I mean it's pretty crazy. Is there anything else that's happened? I forgot to mention there might have been something else that happened. No, but anyways, let's check in on Austria. So Austria took a pretty big chunk away from the Netherlands, but as you can see, they have also gotten involved in a war, a pretty big war. So yeah, they took, like, I don't know, what did they take? Yeah, all this stuff. So Austria they took all that away from the Dutch. Then they declared war on Poland about a few months later. But the thing is, though, they have huge alliances, massive alliances. So they called in France, Denmark, Sweden, and Russia to fight against Poland, the Huns, the massive Polish alliance. The problem is that Spain and Venice are involved. So this is, I think, it is literally almost every single European power, except for the Byzantine Empire, except for the Celts. Everybody else is involved, though. And then Portugal, besides Portugal. The Celts, Byzantium, and Portugal are the only Europeans that are not involved in this war. That is crazy. When I delivered that intro, I just thought that it was originally just Austria and Russia versus Poland, Assyria, and I think the Huns. And then they called, so it looks like both of them ended up getting everyone involved. Wow. Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's what happened. So there it is right there. Austria and Russia are facing Poland. The problem is that Spain saw this as an opportunity for them to attack, and Austria then called in all of their alliances. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Oh, we also have Persia and Babylon. It's about time. Mine's at 45 war score with the Canadians. I'm surprised that Persia didn't do this a lot longer ago. I guess they have nothing else to do. Although they should be going after Assyria if they don't have a truce. They do. 1627, yeah, 4 years. Okay, that's best choice for Persia. But Assyria is going to be, I think, pretty distracted. Maybe going up to the north. We'll see how the Russians also deal with this. I don't know. Again, Denmark is, I would say an underestimated power. Denmark and France working together is pretty big. I don't even know what I would do if I was an AI. I guess it would greatly depend on who I am. Oh, is England not involved in the war? Well, France doesn't have to fight England. But they do have to fight Spain and Venice. So that is not going to be easy. Here's a battle. Oh, they might win this battle, but they're not going to win the next one. Yep, they lost the next one. And that's what the AI can do. If you're Spain or Venice, you can send in a force, lose the first battle, boom, send in the second force, and win it by, win it drastically. Austria is already under siege in most of its provinces already. Not sure because of Poland or what. Russia might have a good opportunity here, though, of grabbing some territory away from Poland, potentially. If they can hold back the Huns, and the Huns are not easy, the problem would be, or the Huns are easy, the non-easy part would be to hold back the Assyrians. The Syrians of the Middle East, who've kind of come out of nowhere. Wow, that's a crazy war. These European wars are insane. Okay, so the Mayans did in fact take this away. Maybe the Mayans they're probably colonizing one of these territories. Maybe not. How did they get this territory in between? Either way, Canada's Mississippi is gone. Was it Canada, Mississippi, or something like that? I think so. It's not completely gone, but it pretty much is. So, like I said, Canada's not doing very well. Let's see how the Persian-Babylonian War went. All right, so Persia grabbed 2 provinces, it looks like. They grabbed the island of Hormuz, and now they have a landing point in the Arabian Peninsula. We'll see if that works for them. Persia has a really good opportunity, actually, of taking over all of Babylon and then going after Arabia. Arabia's got no friends. They could even go after Ethiopia, too. The problem is that Persia would have to deal with India, is going to have to deal with India eventually. They will eventually have to deal with India. There you go, Japan. Just keep running, buddy. You just keep running from China. Yeah, this is a insane war. It seems like the French are... Somehow the French, I don't know how, but somehow the French have just been able to keep themselves safe. And I don't know how it's possible, how the French have continued to defend themselves from both Spain and Venice to their south, as well as they have to somewhat worry about... no, they don't have to worry about England, that's right. So technically this isn't that bad. They just have to fight Spain and Venice, as well as the Spanish colonies, but that's not really that bad. And, the French colonies could deal with the Spanish colonies. It's Austria that has to deal with a lot. And Poland is actually the reason why Austria is not doing so well. So Austria might lose a lot of these provinces to Poland, which would probably make for more aggression between these two. They have a pretty neutral, got an okay feeling about each other. Surprised that Poland and Venice like each, or I'm sorry, Poland and France like each other. That's pretty surprising too. I know that Poland and Russia, yeah, oh my gosh, there's a lot of anger between all these nations here. Huns continue to colonize. I have to say I'm pretty impressed. Even if the Huns don't really have much of a chance here, I'm still pretty impressed by them. Is Sweden and Denmark allied yet? They seem to be allied to most of the same nations. They're technically not allied, but they are allied to a lot of... Whoa! Holy crap, what the heck happened? Okay, so this is the most amount of wars we've seen so far. So Spain, just to take note of, Spain's at -5 war score against Austria. What is this one? Songhai versus the Moroccans. Not a big deal. We'll kind of briefly look over that a little bit. We've got Persia. Oh, Persia is now fighting the Huns in Poland. By themselves, by the way. We have the Shoshone at war with the Mayans again. So the Shoshone are, I think, finally going to die. There is the Chinese-Indonesian war. The Celts versus Celtic Mexico. And new the Celts are trying to grab their independence. Oh, but America is on the Celtic side. That's right. I forgot about that. And somehow Austria is at 11 war score with Poland. They're winning the war. Byzantium, the Huns, and Poland. This, honestly, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. There's so much, there's no way I'm going to be able to see the results of all this. Hopefully you guys in the comment section can leave, kind of help me and leave maybe some of the results when you guys see it. Here's all the wars. I won't be able to remember all this. I'm going to try to focus in on a few at a time. But the problem is that Persia and Byzantium, but both separately declared wars on the Huns in Poland, which is making things kind of confusing because in an already pretty confusing, huge war. So Russia is involved in almost all this stuff, except for the Byzantium-Persian stuff. So it doesn't all link, but it is a pretty massive, almost a world war that we're seeing. Almost a world war, I would say, right? I think this is our first world war. I think we could classify this. Most of the world's at war. And even the new worlds, we're seeing this pretty big conflict going on. America, Canada, the new Celts, all this stuff. I don't think they're going to get their independence because America's too strong at the moment. Canada's not that powerful. Neither are the New Celts. So I think that they're going to be stopped. Latin America is not at war with each other. There's really nobody in Africa at the moment. Let's watch as the Chinese take over Indonesia. Again, I feared this. I feared it would happen, and the Chinese do have the naval superiority, which means that Indonesia will not be able to bring in reinforcements, even if they win a few of these battles. So China's going to get even more strength. So, like I said, there's a few nations that pop up, which I still think it's really early to be talking about like super great powers. But China, the Mayans, Spain, maybe America, maybe. They're probably not that powerful, but it would depend on the fight between the Mayans and the Americans is kind of I guess decide who will be this kind of great power. Europe is too divided, I think, right now. I believe Europe is just too divided to face China. But actually, you know what? I always forget India. India will be a pretty big factor, but India needs some friends. If India is able to get friends with, become friends with maybe Assyria, depending on who colonizes the most. I mean, Sweden won't help out that much, but if India has a friend and they face China, then I think they'd have luck, even if China ends up wrecking most of the nations down this way. Indonesia seems to be doing okay. No, they're not. Never mind. Yeah, because they're trapped. They can't reinforce from their mainland, so they're going to lose a lot of that territory there. Polynesia is probably up next for a Chinese war, I think. But India is getting more and more powerful, and they've got that big military. Okay, so I know definitely one war has ended. Persia's at 22 war score. China's at 13. Celtic Mexico will not grab their independence, I don't believe. Austria's at negative 22 now with Poland. And negative 12 against Spain. Byzantium at negative 3. What war ended? I know something has ended. Not sure. And also Latin America is going to be very interesting. This divide here is going to be pretty fascinating to watch between Brazil, La Plata, New Portugal, the Inca, and then even Haiti coming down from the Caribbean. Oh, is it the Mayans and the Shoshone? Yeah, so the Shoshone have been eliminated from the game. Also, I forgot to mention, look at this. Morocco had actually had a few separatists form in North African Spain, and the Spanish were forced to release Morocco. That's why Songhai is going after this territory again. So Songhai is being aggressive, and they're smart. But it also shows kind of a weakness in the Spanish military, especially in North Africa. When it comes to North Africa, I don't think they're as willing to protect that region. Something new popped up, didn't it? Yes, La Plata versus New Portugal. Again, like I said, new world war. Or maybe not new, but it's a world war. It's our first world war. It's like 1626. I don't know. It's probably really too early to be naming something a world war like this, but it is. We've not come across this many wars and these massive wars. So La Plata is going to be going after New Portugal with the 10 regiments. Unless, of course, this unit is bugged. It's just sitting there. Maybe they're both going to be chilling. I don't know. How's Brazil doing? Brazil looks like they've got way more forces. The Inca are pretty good too, though. They're at 30. Uh-oh. So New Portugal's coming into La Plata's territory. I don't think we should be focusing in on that war, though. It's not that big of a deal. We'll kind of briefly look in on China. China's going to take over Indonesia. Persia having some huge success against the Huns because Poland is dealing with way too much still. Actually, no, they're not. Okay, so what happened? Austria lost what? Austria lost, like, a province. I think only one province so far. Remember, Austria was pretty big in the beginning of this campaign, and they lost a lot to Austria. Or to Venice, I'm sorry. Austria lost a lot to Austria. Venice took a lot from southern Austria. So they're done. Austria's gone. Well, they're not gone, but they're done with their wars. I don't think they lost anything else. Maybe to Venice. Yeah, I think Venice looks like they grabbed a few more territories in the north. Where's the Venetian independence at? Or Venetian liberty desire, 33.9. Their truce is almost up, though. It's just crazy that Spain got this. Spain only allied to Sweden now and to Syria. I wonder what happened to Denmark. Byzantium at negative 16 war score. Persia's at what? Songhai called in Carthage. Now they're both going after Morocco. We've got Persia and the Huns with 34 war score. Poland can focus on that Persian front, but I think Poland's probably focusing in on Byzantium. They're just in a much more unfortunate spot. China's at 43 war score, negative 24 for the Celtic colonies. Oh, this is La Plata. La Plata and New Portugal. La Plata's at negative or plus 12. That's crazy. Yes, this would be a very, very big win for the Huns. Poland has to focus on Byzantium. That's why Byzantium's not going to win. But Persia, I think, is going to have a pretty incredible moment here. Or pretty, I don't know if I can call it incredible, but this is going to be a pretty big move for Persia. Although, it'd be bad if they ended up getting a front with Russia. That would not be good. I can tell them that right now. That I would advise against that. Take things along the Caspian Sea, but that's it. We'll see if they take my advice. I don't think they will. I don't think they can hear me, but that's fine. The power of crack is telepathic. I don't know if you guys heard about that. So we've got Persia, 36 war score. Oh my gosh, now La Plata's dominating. How? I just don't think New Portugal was able to get up the forces needed to face La Plata. Really don't think they ever ended up getting that many forces. Like I said, we got to keep an eye on. Oh my gosh, the Inca's got 60,000 regiments. Brazil's even weaker. So it's actually Inca that could control this region, but they have been so peaceful. They've got an alliance though right now, right? With France and Songhai. Ooh, interesting alliance there. Global alliance. France, I've noticed, have been doing a pretty good job at playing the game kind of globally, being allied to all sorts of different nations. Look at that, France and Poland are now allied. We saw that they liked each other. That's a big pickup, actually. France and Poland, this is what they needed desperately. France also allied to Austria, but in order to fight the nations to the south, this is what they needed. It's crazy to see how much the diplomacy changes drastically over the course of like 100 years. Remember about 100 years ago, Venice was dominating. They had all the alliances in the world. They were winning every single war for all their friends. Now look at this. I mean, we've got 100 years later. We have Venice under a personal union with Spain. All new alliances, France and Poland, Austria making a comeback. I mean, it's just crazy. Ooh. Did La Plata just get destroyed right now? I'm sorry, I mean, did New Portugal just got destroyed? New Portugal gone like that. How did La Plata do that? Did you use, are we in that point in the game, that stage in the game where you're able to use like some crazy cast spells? They're going to fight all these separatists. These separatists formed because those were regiments that the AI did not destroy. These are not technically the separatists that would have formed through kind of, lack of increased autonomy or whatever, stuff like that. So something to remember. They haven't proven that they're going to be able to hold on to this new land. But this is what La Plata needed because they seem to be kind of desperately behind more powerful Latin American countries like the Inca or Brazil. I don't know if I can include Inca in Latin America, right? As a Latin American country? I guess I could technically, but yeah. Oh, good. California's formed. There we go. There is my home. We'll see if I become independent. Well, technically not really. I mean, it's the state that I live in, but I'm not in this part of California. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Looks like America's dominating the Celts. Oh, that's so cool, though. I really like this. I like this territory that they grabbed a hold of. Looks nice. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.